Taper expectations have certainly shifted as traders are now positioning around a token taper in December rather than February or March as we originally expected. Joining me from the floor of the CME Group is Dan Collins of the Dan Collins Report. Dan, thanks for joining us. Give us some insight as to why we're seeing that sentiment shift.
Well, we've seen, if you look at the original document when Chairman Bernanke spoke, he never said September like many people assumed. He did say in his press conference before the end of the year. And this is the last meeting before the end of the year. Well, September was pushed back because we had bad numbers.
Right, and we had a good employment number on Wednesday for November. We had some good data this morning. And of course, we have the all-important jobs number on Friday. So if that's also another positive data point, I mean, how could they not taper is really the question.
Yeah, that is true because you had the GDP today above 3%, which I think took a lot of people by surprise. And here's the key from the market. Yesterday you saw a really good trade balance number and a 24.9% increase in new home sales. And after an initial positive reaction, the market tanked after that. And I think that's an indication that people brought tapering back in. If you recall, a couple weeks, the last unemployment number, I said it was kind of a free put on the market because they knew there was not going to be a taper, so they could, react positive to the positive news without having to worry about the Fed holding back. But now you've had several numbers pile up, and for if tomorrow's unemployment report comes out as expected or better, it's really going to be difficult for them not to do at least as you said, a token tapering, and they'd have to explain why.
Well, here's a couple schools of thought here. So if they end up doing a taper, it actually is a good thing because macro data points are getting better. And from a trading perspective, we've had so many short-term momentum guys and day traders that have been looking for that vol to come back into the market. So it sets up for some nice trading for them. And also for the longer-term investor, that's where you can get some good values because everyone's asking, what's the next play as equities have just, the market's up 26.5% on the year. So this could be, great for the short-term guy and also great for a longer-term investor.
Yeah, I think the worry of a taper, the temper tantrum that the equity traders had back at the beginning of the summer when this was first put on the table, I think people have realized the Fed has done a good job talking them down, saying a taper has to happen. It's not a tightening. Tightening is still further down the road. Right. But before you got to eliminate this, this 85 billion monthly purchases first. So I think the panic is gone. So it may be, when it all said and done in the December meeting, it may be somewhat of a non-event if they have a small tapering.
Okay.
That being said, okay.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I was going to say, that being said, I think there's a lot of stuff out there that could make December a more interesting month. Usually it's a positive month with low volatility. But, there's a lot of stuff out there that could make December a pretty interesting month.
Right, and I absolutely agree with you. Thanks very much, Dan. We certainly look forward to catching up with you over the next couple of weeks.